Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It has been a hot minute since I have been here. Had some things going on. But for today, I have a glitzy, glammy New Year's Eve festive looking look for you. A little bit of chit chat and get ready with me. So, let's get into this. To start off, I already have primed. I've used my Makeup Forever Step 1 where I have really big pores and my Smashbox Photo Finish Radiance, everywhere else. Since I'm going to be using a matte foundation, I'm going to use like a backlighting type of primer. And since we are going for a more glam look, I'm going to go with a more full coverage foundation. And I have a lot of junk here. Ugh, to hide. That's a whole story. So I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Superstay Foundation, and I am in the shade 220 Natural Beige. So I guess the biggest question probably is, oh my God, where have I been? I've been kind of MIA on the YouTube, a lot of social media in general. I mean, I still kind of posted to Instagram, not as frequently as I usually do, but I did post. But anyway, it's a kind of a long story. But here's what happened. It was after Thanksgiving. It was, I guess, the week after Thanksgiving. I guess we were in the first week of December. I started just one day getting these severe cramps in my lower left quadrant of my abdomen. Just really severe. Like, I mean, I felt like I couldn't even hardly move, and it hurt so bad. I really honestly thought it was a muscle that I pulled because it really only hurt when I moved around. It didn't hurt if I was just sitting still. So I also make the worst patient ever. I don't like to go into the hospital or the doctor unless I absolutely need to. And I was also kind of scared because it's lower left quadrant pain. There's only a few things down there in that lower left quadrant. And that's the colon, maybe some kind of referred kidney pain could be happening from that. Most likely not. It's just the colon, and that's really about it. And my ovary. And the thing is I do have a teratoma tumor on my left ovary. I had one on my right ovary, grew so huge, 20 pounds, named it Randy, and had to have it removed. I don't have a gallbladder. I don't have an appendix anymore, so there's not much else going on in my stomach that it could be. And like I said, being down that area, one would assume it's the colon. Now that kind of caused me some alarm and made me a little nervous and scared too. So now I'm going to move on to some concealer, going in with a little bit of Tarte Shape Tape in the shade medium. Put that here in my caverns, as I always do. And then we're going to mix that, as I always do, with a little bit of the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. And this is in the shade, I believe, Natural Beige. Am I natural? Natural Beige, number 4. And I am scraping the sides. I pulled out the stopper to finish this one off. So getting back to where I've kind of been and having this horrible stomach pain and everything. And I was just kind of... We're getting too close to Christmas. I'm like, I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't want to have surgery. I've had 5 abdominal surgeries. The recovery on those is ridiculous. I mean, ridiculous. Not as bad as my shoulder. Like I said, that was the worst recovery I've ever had. I would have done all my abdominal surgeries over again rather than ever have my shoulder worked on again. And unfortunately, I might not have a choice in that matter. So I just played it off, and I played it off for as long as I could. And then one morning woke up, I was given a new symptom, and I took myself into the ED. So I'm going to try this out. I have not used this one before, believe it or not, but it is the ABH Dip Brow, and this one is in the shade medium brown. This one's actually my daughter, so, she's always like, oh, you have to try it. You'll have to see. I think it's too creamy. I think I have tried it before, like in a sample. But I don't know. We shall see. I'm going to blend out this concealer. It's been sitting here forever. And I will fill you in. So, basically, in a nutshell, what had happened was I have a little diverticulose. I don't have diverticulitis. Diverticulitis is actually the infection and the inflammation that's caused from a diverticulose. But it's just a little diverticulose. It's like a little tiny pouch in my colon. Very common for somebody my age. I'm 44. So it's a very, very common thing to have. Basically, I think mine just got really irritated. like so many things in my GI tract, they easily get very irritated. And I think due to that, it just got angry, it got irritated, and so I had a minor GI bleed. Nothing that I had to have a transfusion for or anything. It didn't bleed that bad, but it bled enough that it scared me half to death. And I think it would just about anybody else. It's always a scary situation when you think you've got a GI bleed. The colon is so darn vascular that, you know, it bleeds like there's no tomorrow. It's kind of like if you bonk your head and you get a cut on your head or like your forehead or something. I mean, it will bleed profusely. You'll think you split your head wide open. And it's just a teeny tiny little cut. It's just because there's so many veins going in through here. It's just so vascular that it bleeds a lot. And that's pretty much the same thing with the colon. So some of my friends like in the community knew that I was dealing with, you know, the illness and a little bit of the issues. So they knew, but I just didn't kind of like announce it to the world. I don't know, maybe I should have, so that, you know, if people did kind of worry, they wouldn't have to worry. So if you were worrying about me and wondering why did she fall to the face of the earth, I appreciate that. Thank you. So I just needed to take a little bit of time off, you know, and then I have, you know, the holidays and everything. So that's basically what it is. I'm perfectly fine now. Haven't had any problems. Haven't had any type of pain whatsoever. Oh, I did throw down a little bit of Laura Mercier translucent. I'm talking a lot, so I may forget, but everything will always be listed down below in the description box because I always do that for you guys, no matter what the video is. I tell you what makeup I've got on. So now I'm going to do some light bronzing and, you know, just like a little bit of light contouring with the bronzer, which is kind of my normal go-to, using the ABH bronzer. This one is in the shade Saddle. Just gonna lightly dust this. These are so pigmented, but do not swatch them and then make your determination, because that's what I did, even though I had heard 1,000 times, don't swatch it, just try it, you know, because you can always take it back, you know, that's the thing. So I finally did. I finally bit the bullet. I picked the color that I'm pretty sure was my good color and brought it home and tried it. And I have just been in love ever since. It is that's like the only bronzer I have used in months. I like tried to do a mini madness project and put another contour product in, and just had a hard time bringing myself to using it because I love this one so much. So I'm going to go with some blush. I'm going to go with the Tarte in the shade Exposed. Just such a pretty, flattering, kind of muted, universal color. And now I'm going to go ahead and highlight real quick so that when I put my setting spray on, I'll get a really good highlight. This is the ABH Amrezy. If you guys were able to get your hands on these are still out there. They brought it back for the holiday season. Honestly, in theory, I think they're going to bring it back permanently because so many people love this darn highlight. And that's why I really like to buff this one in. I will have to say, though, I still prefer Butterscotch in the Sugar Glow kit, but this is really nice. So I got my mold back in place. I'm going to go ahead and spray down, take down any of the powderiness we have. Mario Badescu. This is the facial spray with aloe, cucumber, and green tea. Oh gosh, that stuff smells so good too. And I spray it a ton. I love to spray it down. That one doesn't really help so much with longevity as it does just to kind of help, like I said, kick down like all the powderiness, you know, like even though I didn't use a whole lot of powder per se, I just used some translucent setting powder under my eyes. But all of the other products, the bronzer, the blush, the highlighter, those are all powder products. So it just kind of helps them all melt down, become one with the skin. Really helps intensify your highlight as well. Just love it. So now we are going to move on to eyes. I'm going to prime them first. I'm going to use my e.l.f. liner primer sealer stick, which I use all the time. That's kind of my go-to. And today we are breaking out the ABH Sultry palette. So eyes are primed. Let's go ahead and go in. I'm going to start off with the shade Fresh. That's our light cream colored shade in the palette. We're just going to lay that all across the lid as I normally do to set my eyeshadow primer. So now back into a little bit more chit chat. Oh, you know what? I did forget to wish everybody had a great holiday. Like, whether you celebrate Christmas, what have you, whatnot. So late happy holidays to you guys on that one. I completely like started this video off forgetting all about that. It was just like a couple of days ago. It was Christmas, so you know. Well, at least for me, it was. So I do hope that you all had a wonderful, happy holiday. I do usually, if you've been with me for a while, I do a giveaway every year for Christmas time. And because of everything that was going on, I didn't get to do that. But I am going to host a giveaway in January. So probably be about mid-January, I'll kick that off. And that will be my belated Happy Christmas, Happy Holidays giveaway. So stay tuned for that because that will come up. And I just say, you know, look at past things and probably going to be something close to that because I like what I like and I like to give away what I like to give away. We got that laid down. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the crease started. And for that, we are going to go into the shade here. I think I'm going to start off with a slate and we're just going to get that. I'm going to do a real kind of smoky glitzy look. So we're going to start off with slate. Get that going in the crease. That one I'm going to take my Luxie angled shader. I think you're an angled shader. Angled, medium angle shading. I'm going to dip the tip into slate. And then leave the other half of it bare. And then that's just going to help me kind of blend it and blow it. So yeah. Oh, see how pigmented that is? It's one tap, guys, and one tap off. That stuff doesn't... ABH shadows don't play. They never do. They come to work. So a few other things that are coming up is I am going to put up my my finale update for Mini Madness. I didn't get to do that the last round. I just will say this, nothing got finished last round. So it really kind of would have been a nothing update. And I didn't add anything because I wanted to finish it off for December. So that finishing video will be coming up next week so that you will be able to see everything I finished. And then I am going to be embarking on Mini Madness round 2 because I love this project so much and it was so much fun. Now, the Pantastic ladies who I was doing the Mini Madness with, they are not doing this particular painting project as one of their like official group projects. So I am just doing this one solo. It will no longer be in collaboration with. I will, however, still be giving credit to Aura Oops Wrong Cookie because it was her idea. And I actually talked to her about it and told her that what I was planning on doing. So, you know, I like to give credit where credit is due. And like I said, again, Aura was the one who kind of created this challenge. So I want to give her the credit. So I will link her channel in the description box for all the Mini Madness projects and whatnot, so that you can go check her out, but I will be doing that. And then an update on panning in general. Just going to take a bare crease brush now. Just kind of get that buffed in really good. I'm not embarking on, or I shouldn't say I'm not, but I do not foresee myself in the near future or future per se going forward embarking in any more panning projects because there's something I realized about myself as I try to do these projects. I don't like panning. I just really kind of don't. I thought I kind of would like it, you know, say, hey, I can get use out of this. But instead of doing panning, where I'm trying to say I want to use this up, or, oh God, I just want to use this and get it out of my collection. No, because I'm not that kind of person. If I have something in my collection and I'm not using it because I don't like it, I'm not keeping it. It's not going to stay. I don't even consider that decluttering. It's just you got to go buy. I might pass it on to somebody to see if they like it, or it's a hit in the trash. It's one of the two. So I don't, you know, want to buy a product just to use it up. I want to buy a product and use it, but enjoy using it. I'm going into one tap of Bloom. That's this bright color here. Everybody's always like, what do you use that for? I'm going into one tiny tap, tapped off really good. And I'm even going to pounce it on my little towel down here. And I'm just going to hit the border of this slate that I just laid down. And it's not going to be super detectable, but it's going to give it a little something something up here. So basically, you know, I mean, for myself, I don't prefer panning. I also kind of don't like, I guess I'm trying to say this as well as I can without hurting anyone's feelings or being negative, but within the group, there was some politics and practices that I just don't agree with. We'll just put it that way. And so that's just not a fit for me. And, might be perfectly fine, happy, lovely people, but just the way things were happening, it's just not something I'm going to want to participate in or be in. So I'm just not going to do any more projects with the ladies and just kind of leave the group because, again, I don't want to pan anyway. So I'm just kind of taking up space in there. Not that, there's like anybody needs that particular space. But for me, I like to and I like to support as well. But I just don't, it's not a fit for me, so I don't feel like I'm going to stay in there. So I'm not going to finish the Mean Girls project. I had planned on finishing Mean Girls and then leaving. Basically, I just kind of looked at the situation as why would you do this and be kind of disingenuous because you don't really want to do this, even though I kind of made the commitment. And that's kind of where I was feeling is like, well, I kind of made this commitment, so I kind of want to finish it off. But then again, this commitment, it's not like it's a work commitment. This isn't a commitment that's going to impact or change anybody's life. This is just a commitment I made to make a video about panning products that I don't really necessarily want to pan. So no commitment broken here, Leyla. Get over that. And I did. And I said, okay, yeah, it's just time to step away. So Final Mini Madness, that will be posted with the Fantastic Ladies. And then after that, I will be on my own for Mini Madness. But I just enjoy Mini Madness so much because it's so much fun. So that's just kind of where we're at. So now let's get back to these eyeballs. I feel like I've just been a rambling, but this is a chit chatty, so this video might be kind of long, guys. Sorry about that. I usually try to keep them kind of short because I know your time is valuable and my time is valuable, and let's just get to it, kind of thing is how I feel. I'm going to go ahead and go into the shade here, Dystopian. Super dark, super pigmented, kind of a chocolate brown, but not as chocolatey of a brown as I would consider most of your chocolate browns. It's like a dark chocolate brown. That's what we'll call it. I'm going to tap this here on my outer corner. This is my Luxie Precision. I can never say that word, but I'm trying to. Precision shader brush. I'm going to pop that in this outer corner, outer V area. And then we're going to just kind of blend it in using my blending brush. Blending, yes, that had a T. I kind of make just like a little funky triangle, just kind of following the contour of the natural contour of my eye there. So something I am going to do, a couple of new things that I'm going to bring to the channel this year, or I'm going to try to, I'm going to, put some feels out for them, see how I feel about it, is kind of doing a monthly, like, back of the drawer or back of the collection makeup thing where I'm going to try and pull some items out, maybe just a couple, 3 or 4, and try to get some use for them throughout the month, because there are products, when your collection is huge, and I do consider my collection huge because it's over 1,000 pieces, and I'm including an eyeshadow palette as one piece, and there's about 1,000 pieces, over 1,000 pieces of makeup I have. So I do consider that a pretty huge collection. There are things that get thrown in the back drawer and they might not get used for months, a year, because you don't see it as often. It's way there in the back. So I'm going to do that. Just kind of pulling out makeup items from the back of the drawer, and maybe, once a month also include them in like a look, like trying to incorporate all of them into one look, and then just change that each month. So it's kind of like a monthly makeup basket, but kind of more of a, let's just revisit these, classics. So now I'm going to go with the shade Cyborg here, and this I'm going to put on the lid, and because this is a super duper, can I get an amen, beautiful shade, I'm going to throw down some NYX glitter glue. Anytime I use a real shimmery shade, like I said, my girl Stephanie Nicole, I love her to death. She has hooded eyes, so this is her standard. Anytime she uses a shimmer shade, she puts a glitter glue or a glitter primer down on her lids so that it stays on her lid and doesn't wind up. She doesn't blink and then all of the shade comes off of her lid. And that can happen to me sometimes too, because my eyes aren't hooded, but they're older, so they kind of droop a little bit, like there's a little bit of excess skin down here. And sometimes, like, even at the end of the day, it will droop and sag a little bit more. Like it's the craziest thing. You would think it doesn't move, but it kind of actually does. So I like to put down a glitter glue as well. That way, that shade stays where I put it and it doesn't end up somewhere else. I mean, if I wanted it somewhere else, I would have put it there, but that's not where I want it. So I want it to stay where I want it to stay. So I'm going to use a combination of my finger and my tiny Sonia Kashuk brush. I don't think they sell this one anymore. This is the Sonia Kashuk small shader brush. It's a really, really good one. I think they have one that's very similar to it, but it definitely isn't packaged like this anymore. I'm going to pick up some Cyborg here on my finger, and I'm going to pat it on. Oh my goodness. See, this is a me shade. This is an, oh my gosh, I'm living for a shade. So I'm going to pack it on there, and then I'm going to pick up, I'm just going to kind of sweep my brush across it to get into this little like spot here and pack it on a little bit. And then I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to sweep. So now I'm going to go ahead and throw down some liner. I'm not going to do any wings. I'm just going to kind of just line my top lash line. I'm going to use the, this is the Physicians Formula Liner 2-in-1 Lash Booster Eyeliner Plus Serum. It's supposed to help your lashes grow. I've never seen it do that, but you know, hey, it's a really good black liner though. This is in the shade Ultra Black. This is the only one I recommend. I've tried the other one, did not like it. It did not perform nearly as well as the Ultra Black does. But I mean, it's like a total dupe for the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner and Trooper. Has the brush tip. It's really, really a good liner. This is the Jordana 12-Hour Made to Last Liquid Eyeliner Pencil. I love these. These are so good. You can find them at Walgreens. They're usually like 2 for $5, something like that. They're super inexpensive. They might be, I don't know, heck, they might be $3 or $4. I haven't bought one in forever. This one is in the shade Charcoal Definition. I don't know if they carry this shade anymore, but they do have a black one. I believe it's called Jet Black or something like that, and it's just as good. I don't think I have one of those right now, and this was what was closest, so this is what we're using. I'm going to go ahead and line my waterline with this. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a pencil, my flat definer, maybe. I put all my brushes out here, and I keep forgetting I set them over here, and I'm looking like right in front of me. I'm going to go into the shade Noir, which is our black here, and that is a repeat shade from the Soft Glam palette. Also has Noir in it. I'm going to go ahead and push this between my lashes on my lower lash line, and also kind of help smudge out that liner a little bit. We're going for a little bit of glitz and smoke with this eye look. I'm also going to take a little bit of Dystopian, using this little hair smudger brush. This is actually one of the ABH brushes. I think the brush is horrible, but this end of it makes a really good, like, smoky, like for your lower lash line. It really works. So take a little bit of Dystopian, kind of further smoke and smudge that out some. Now I'll take some of that harshness off of that line as well. So it's really smoked out there. That's pretty though, isn't it? And then I'm going to take just a little bit of the shade Twig, which is right here. Camera is kind of like out of focus if I come a little bit too close. And we're going to further smudge that out a little bit lower, just to help kind of take that edge off. Then I'm going to go in with my pencil brush here, It Cosmetics Smoky Liner Brush. And I'm going to go back into our Amrezy palette here, kind of roll that around and highlight my inner corner. I'm going to go back into a little bit of Fresh, which was our like main color. Just highlight the brow bone again a little bit with that. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on some lashes and mascara, pop that off camera. I'm going to go in with the Ardell, these are the Wispies. So eyes are done. I went ahead and threw on the falsies. Again, those were the Ardell and Wispies. Also blinked on a coat of the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, as well as on the bottom lashes, my CoverGirl Clump Crusher Water Resistant. And now let's do something with the lips. Since the eye statement is kind of bold, I kind of want to go a little bit more neutral on the lips. So I'm going to go in with the Bite Beauty in the shade Chai. This is just the mini one. This came in the birthday from Sephora this year, and it lives in my purse. I use this so much, guys, and I mean, look, there's still lipstick in here. And so this is it. This, here you have it. This is our holiday New Year's Eve glitzy glam smoky eye. Really did enjoy doing some chit chatty get ready with me with you guys. I hadn't sat down and filmed in so long, and I really felt I wanted to chit chat, and I don't think I got to touch on everything I wanted to touch on. A couple things that are coming for the new year, some things I'm going to try out and throw out there for you guys. And you guys, let me know down in the comments, throw me some feedback. What are some things you want to see? Is there something in particular that you want to see? Let me know. I'm always happy to accommodate if I can. Once again, I of course want to thank you for spending a little bit of your time with me today. I truly, truly do appreciate it. I hope everybody has a very happy new year, a very safe new year. Please, Uber, Lyft, all of these things offer free discounted rides to and from the places you're going to. Please do not drink and drive. Call somebody. They will not be mad at you. I promise you. Also be safe in your surroundings. And if you're staying at home, hey, woohoo, I'll be at work. I usually am. I don't go out on amateur night anymore. I'm too old for that business. But I definitely want you to have a wonderful good time. Just make sure you're having a wonderfully safe good time. And as always, before you leave, make sure that you are subscribe to my channel. You definitely don't want to miss out on any videos that I have coming up. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.